In this video, I will show you how to make this animation in Blender. And let's jump into Blender. By File, New, Reload Startup File. Let's move this cube outside the grid by pressing this red arrow and move away from the grid. Now let's press Shift C to put cursor on the center. Now we will add a text object by pressing Shift A to get the add menu, and here select text here, and let's rotate the text from x-axis R by pressing R x 19. Okay, now press tab key to edit your text. Enter the name what you want. I will add yes, and press tab key again, and here go into this F button. If you can't see this, then scroll your mouse wheel to see it. Now extrude it so that it looks like a 3D object. Give some depth, little bit depth to it, and something like this. Perfect. And set revolution to 2. And now we will set the camera view. Now press 1 and 5 on your numpad, and let's camera view by pressing Ctrl Alt and 0 together. That's perfect. Now select the camera, and by pressing Z key and Y, and grab your mouse down to zoom in a little bit. That's great for me. Now let's convert text into a mesh object, and select Alt C and mesh from curve meta text object. Now go into edit mode by pressing tab key. You can see there are too many edges on it which you don't want, so by pressing A to select all, and X and limited dissolve, which can remove all the extra edges so that our particles can come out smoothly. Now set particles by pressing these stars on properties, and select new. We will change numbers later, and start to 1 and end to 1 2 also, and lifetime to 170, and select random here. Now set the velocity normal to 0, and at the bottom set the size to 0.01, which is lowest size, and select object here. Now we will set cube as particles. You can see cube as particles. Now set field weights to in field weights gravity to 0 so that the particles can't fall down, and that's look perfect for me. Now scale the cube by pressing S key and scale it down a little bit so that the particles gone small. Now let's add floor to it. Shift A to add menu, plane, and scale by pressing S key. That's perfect. That's good for me. Select text. No, we will add force field to it. Force field, wind, R, and rotate it R by 90 degree, and grab above the text, and here the physics tab at the end of these buttons. Select strength to 22, noise to 10, flow to 10, and select tube here, and click on this second checkbox, and maximum, and set this something like this, and use maximum and set it to 1. In this cylinder the wind is blowing. Now go to camera view by pressing O, and now we will animate the force field. Now, and go to the 20th frame. We will start moving the force field, and press I location. This will insert a keyframe for you, and 20 plus 60, and enter. And now move your force field down something at the middle of the text. Perfect. I location. This will add another keyframe. Now add plus 60, and move the force field at the end of the text. That's great. I location enter frame now at almost near 150. That's perfect. 150, 152, and move this down. I location. Now we will set the end frame to 160. 160, so our animation will long 1 to 160. Let's play it, and particles are moving as I want. Stop it, moving to first frame, and now we will set the floor to collision so that particles can't go through the plane. That's great. Now let's rotate the force field around z axis r z and little bit like this. Now we will add some materials to the text, and by clicking this gray ball on it, select new and select the blue color and this to white. That's perfect. Now we will send the cube, and because the cube is our particle, and no, and click on this and material 001, and let's go to white material. Now we will make a lamp, area lamp, rectangle to square, and size little bit like this. Perfect. And move the camera, move the lamp to above the camera and rotate it around z axis r z, and the light will have to on the text so that it can we can see it clearly, and that's great. Use nodes, set it to 200, 200. Okay, 200. Now go to 0, press numpad 0 key so to go into the camera mode, and now press shift z to go into the rendered mode. This is now set the world to black. That's great. And now we will increase the number of particles on it. Select the text, and here particles tab, go upside and change these numbers to something like 4999, almost about 50,000. I set the number to high. This will slow down your Blender UI. If you uncheck the emitter and then you go into Shift Z, you can see any holes. But if your numbers are too low, then you can see there are too many holes. Like when I set the numbers to 1000 and I go into the rendered view, you can see there are too many holes. So you have to be, this will be varies about your letters, how many letters in your text. So in my case there are 49,999 was perfect. Now let's see the animation of it by pressing 0 key on numpad, and we will set our render file HDTV720, and here 50% on it, 50%, 50, and set frame rate to 30%, and down set these render samples to 50, and here PNG to MPEG so that we can save as MP4 file, MPEG to MPEG 4, and where you want to save an MP4 file, select that location. In my case it will be F and Steam, and accept. Now let's play the animation. This will take some time because there are too much particles to calculate. There are too much particles, and this will make slow down. Come on, fast, fast, this fast. And particles are flowing like sand. That's perfect, looking great. And yes, it's flowing. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Now the text animation is ended. Now so our frame rate is too low, set to 170, so that the particles are going out of the camera. That's we want. Set it to 170. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. And it's almost done. And then that's look perfect for me. Let's stop the animation and click here on this camera icon and click on animation, and your file is rendering. This will take almost 170 times, so be patient. And I will pause the video so that because we don't want to spend time much on it. And that's it, the animation was complete. Now let's make this, minimize it, and you can see by pressing this, you can see your animation go into this render icon, render button, and play rendered animation. And here it is, your text like glowing like sand. Wow. And now you can get the mp4 file at your location. In my case that was F Steam, and here it is a video of it. Let's play it to show you. That was perfect. And now let's save the blender file, save, untitled, enter your name, what you want. I want like, sorry, text animation, MDMN, and save blender file, and it's done. Now you will make your own animation. And thanks for watching. I will see you again. That's all. Let's close it today.